Jesus passed by and says, follow me. This is what he says to them. He says, follow me. They're sitting with their daddy. This is for the parents that think that you the only one that your children can get a word from. Put that in the garbage can and go get delivered yourself. Go get yourself delivered. I said it to you. Go get yourself delivered with that Jezebel anointing that's on you. I called it an anointing because Jezebel was so right in her own way that she thought she had the power that an anointing had. So that Jezebel anointing that sits on you, that wants to dominate, go fix that piece inside of you that's struggling with control, that's got to be a mother hen over everything. Jesus goes to these boys with their daddy and said, listen, leave your daddy and follow me. Leave your daddy and follow me. It's a whole nother level. Well, you don't understand. You know what you mean follow you. You don't understand. My son is the pastor, and we made him the pastor. You don't understand. My daughter is a worship leader. We made her. You didn't hear what I said, did you? You missed the words that just came out my mouth. We made him the pastor. We made her the worship leader. You missed all that, didn't you? It was nothing about what God has done. I'm just trying to hope some people. I ain't trying to get in no trouble. I ain't trying to start no riot or nothing. I'm just telling the truth. That's all I'm doing. I'm just telling the truth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it's out. I'm just being honest about it. If you just said, well, we made her the Sunday school teacher, but did God call her to be the Sunday school teacher? You much rather for her to be there and be the Sunday school teacher full of all kind of mess on the inside of her. The child is struggling, needs a mentor inside of her life to help her. The child is pushing and projecting all of that on those children and the people that she's teaching in Sunday school. But you much rather have her do that because why? That looks good for you. You know what I'm saying? That just makes things look good for you. That makes your image looks quite well, right? So you just like for her to do that. So Jesus has to pass by and Jesus has to say, hey, follow me because your daddy finna kill y'all. Your daddy need to get saved himself. How about you get out that boat with your daddy and follow me, and then you'll be able to go back and save your daddy. And your daddy needs some help himself. Oh, their feet. Girl, listen, cut this live off and get out of here, please. Cut it, girl. Okay, now, I done told you. Cut it off and get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, boy. All right, verse 22. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 22, it says, and they immediately left the ship and their father. They didn't see that part. They missed that part in the Bible. It says, and they immediately left the ship and their father and followed. Who does it say they followed? It said they followed him. Y'all see it? They immediately left. Immediately left the ship. They done left what they was gifted to do, what they were used to doing. They done left what the folk knew them for doing. All they know me for is singing, yeah. They done left that. And done left their father too. Wow. That makes me think about my own life. So, just in case anybody, have a problem with what I'm saying, I talk like this because I can back it up. Y'all remember that song? I talk like this because I can back it up, Yeah, that's why I talk like this. So check this out. Let me tell you what happened. All right, so I was a worship leader. Man, when I tell you, boy, if I had built my life off of the things that people said about me leading worship, because there was clearly an anointing there. I don't sing nowhere near like I used to because I haven't sung in so long. I transitioned to another place. But I was worship leader, man, and I tell you, people would come in, and you can ask some of the folk that, was there. We ought to taboo any of them that gets, some of them, sometimes they be on the lives and all. They'll tell you, man, people would request, we want Sister Delphine. And Sister Delphine, they would ask the pastor, can she just travel with us? Can we, you know what I'm saying, we'll take care of her if you just release her and let her travel with us. And that's what Sister Delphine was known as. She was known as the worship leader. Who Sister Delphine could sing, you hear me? She could move the crowd. She knew the right words. That was different. That was so, because I love music, so it was just like it's just embedded on the inside of me. I could just flow with anything, and I especially love a live band, because even if you put me in the room with a live band, you're going to see magic take place. That's all I'm going to say to you, is magic is literally going to happen, because I can just tap into it and just flow right with it. If they can move with me, we got it. You can bet that. And so Sister Delphine, she does worship, and really, that was all Sister Delphine knew, was worship. That was all, hey, she didn't know anything about doing no preaching and no teaching and all that kind of stuff. So all she thought she was just worship. That's what she thought about herself as well. And so then there was a particular day that the Lord visited me and laid me prostrate out on the floor, and my face, I'm like buried in face in the floor, and the Lord began to talk to me, and he told me he wanted me to transition from the place where I was. And baby, when I tell you, I knew it was God. It was no ifs, ands, or but. The Lord, the way he had me, when he had me put me down on the floor, part of my body was in the bedroom and part of it was in the hallway coming out of my bedroom. And he told me, he said, that's exactly how your life is right now. You're part way in and part way out. And I need to move you. I need to transition you to a place where you are fully immersed in what I have for you. And so I went and I told the people, I was like, I heard the Lord, say that I gotta go. I need to move. Oh my God, it was like controversy. You hear me? It was, oh no, no, I don't know if that was the Lord. You sure that was the Lord? Why? Because Sister Delphine was at the highest peak. She was, people were loving her. They, the worship that she was leading was it was just all through the roof. And so it was like, oh, you really sure? Are you sure it was not embraced? And because it was not embraced, God, help me tonight. I'm going to tell my story and I'm going to obey God. Y'all already know that it's a charge to keep I have. So I don't care what nobody say, you don't bother me. You don't punk me. I want you to know that you don't punk me now. So I'm going to tell what God want me to tell, because somebody, if it ain't but one somebody, gonna be free from what the Lord is allowing me to release. So I went to the people and I told them what I heard the Lord say concerning, it was time for me to move on, for me to transition. And no, they did not receive it. And when you do that and it's not received, it literally comes back to you in your head that, am I making a wrong choice? You know what I'm saying? Did I miss God? Why? Because see, you trust these people. You trust these people, because they have been the authority in your life, or the voices or the overseers or whatever it is in your life. They have been that. So you literally in your mind think that they the only ones that hear from God. So so it's like it started playing with me, and I didn't make the move when I initially heard God, because it kept messing. It was like no, that you have to make sure that's not the enemy that's trying to move you from where God has you. You're blessed right now. God is using you tremendously. And why would God move you when he's using you at the rate that he's using you, Sister Delphine? That has just got to be the devil. Well, I beg to differ with you now. I'm wise. I'm stronger and wiser and much better, baby. Let me tell you something about the God that we serve. God will move you right when it's good. He will. Why? Because God is not controversial in that aspect of having to call the police and be forced out and all that. That's not the way God does things. That's not. Now the enemy does things like that, but God does not do things like that. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. walk. He's the perfect gentleman. So God does not do unseemly thing. The Bible talks about that in 1 Corinthians 13, but read about what it says love does. Love does not act or behave itself unseemly. And so God does. So I beg to differ about when God will have you to transition. I like to tell people when they come to me and they have issues with their spouse or whatever the case may be, and they're talking, I just want to get out of here, and all this kind of stuff, and I'm leaving, and I want a divorce and all. Well, this is what I say to them. Call me when you feel like that, when everything is good with y'all. If you still feel like that when y'all are not arguing and everything is good, then that means you really ready to get out of it. But if you only feel like that because y'all are upset, then go sit yourself down and straighten it out, okay? Go bring yourself subject, because there's something that you're about to be gypped out of something. The enemy is about to play you out of something. It's what's about to happen. When God transition you, God will transition you right at the place when it's smooth, baby. He'll do it so straight smooth. So straight smooth. And so God was doing this for me, and I allowed them to get in my head, and I didn't make the transition at the time that the Lord has set for me to make the transition. So I almost missed my moment. It had to come back to me again. I almost missed my moment fooling with people that literally were only attracted to what I could do for them, the benefits that I could give them. They liked the fact that, I gave them goosebumps when I sung. They liked that. You know what I'm saying? They could buy, man, y'all better hear what I'm saying to you. That gifting stuff, when there's no character, when there's no integrity and there's no developing that is taking place, if you have not heard the words follow me, and what the people are saying is we made them the Sunday school teacher. We made them, we put them over the children, and it wasn't that the Lord had set for that to take place. You can bet your bottom dollar that's just someone that is wanting to use the gift. They're wanting to use the gift. They're not, they just want the gift, but the follow me is going to come. Y'all see it in the text. You can play with it if you want. Like I said, please make sure that you I don't care who you let listen to it. You can put a bishop on here. Go get apostles or whatever the case may be. I got one myself. Go get them. I don't care. I'm not going to be swayed from what I know, because see, what I don't do is I don't mess with folks about, I don't care nothing about no gift. I don't care, because I've been gifted and didn't have a lick of character. I've been gifted and credit was shot. You hear me singing and all that, and credit was shot where integrity was not where it was supposed to be. So I don't care nothing about that gifting, baby. I had to answer that follow me. Things didn't get right. The score didn't go up. The bills wasn't paid like they were supposed to be until I heard that follow me. When I got that follow me and started following, that's when stuff started happening for me. That's when stuff started happening for me. Disciples. What does disciple mean? Disciple basically mean disciplined one. Disciplined one, someone that has discipline. And so if you notice the context, Jesus called them disciples. He says, listen, I've got to make you disciplined ones, because the gift is not causing you to be disciplined. They so caught up in what you can do that ain't nobody trying to stop you. They so caught up in what you can do, they letting you sit there and sing and know you got a bad lifestyle. They know you living an alternative lifestyle. I'm going to have to get out of here. They allowing you to sing, and they know you're living an alternative lifestyle. They know. Why? Because they are hinged up on your gift. I even asked the question, do they even care about your soul? I'm just being honest. Do they even care about your soul for real? Just hands up on your gift. You know who care about your soul. Get the trick.